Hello.
All right.
Hi.
Hi. I'm putting the notification in your server.
Oh, thank you. You're
Actually,
awesome. That's
actually, that's what I'm doing right now
wow.
because I never did that yet.
You're
hmm
amazing. Welcome everybody.
I am definitely something.
Well, you're something, man. Man, you're something good.
I'm something. Whew.
Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday that happens to fall on All Saints Day Eve, aka Halloweening.
Halloween Eve.
Yeah. Eve of Halloween for those in America.
But that's
Although
for
if
you.
you're
No, it's not.
yeah, it's for
It's
those
2 days
in
before
Australia,
Halloween.
sorry, yeah. So
Yeah. Okay.
those in America, it's Halloween Eve.
Halloween Eve.
Yeah. Welcome.
Okay.
You've
we,
almost
we
arrived.
didn't.
Um,
Yes.
this is Don't Worry
Kendra, we got your
Wednesday.
topic.
Yes, we got you guys' topic. We've got a couple topics in our thing, so thank you. We would always be happy for more. If you guys have any worries and want to submit any, we'd be happy to cover them. Kendra, I see you have not very much time, so we're just gonna jump into it. I'll say the disclosure and we'll go right in. Is that cool?
Do it. Say it quick. Say it so fast. Say it like a pharmaceutical commercial. So it's so
Wow.
fast. And blah, 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 blah.
Please seek your doctor if Don't Worry Wednesday is right for you.
This
Ask your doctor.
antidepressant may cause depression.
Yeah, that's all of them. This antihistamine may cause histamines. Yeah, like, of course. Oh,
Sorry.
you're frozen on my screen, unfortunately. That's not good.
What? I froze a weird face.
Yeah, you're frozen, man. Oh, you're coming back? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. But,
Oh, man. Well, hopefully.
That's better. Can you hear me? No?
Robot. Yeah, we can hear you. If it's
You can hear me, but like I'm freezing and stuff.
yeah, but you sound weird, man.
I sound
We
weird.
can hear you. All right, well, I'll just go ahead with the disclaimer. Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. This is just the show where we talk about the problems, the worries, the situations, the pains, the sufferings, whatever is in your life that you're going through, or even just any kind of topic that you're thinking of or maybe worried about. We'd like to talk about them, but we are not professional psychologists or psychiatrists or anything along those lines. We're just two gentlemen looking to be gentlemen in this world and give our best to help those who might have had similar experiences or maybe different experiences than we have had ourselves. And of course, the same goes on with the chat. Lots of people in the chat help out and say a lot of amazing things as well. So this is just a place for love and support. And honestly, this is like the best community ever. You can say and be whoever you want, and we will love you. And there's no shame or no blame or no reason to be afraid to share who you are. But if you want to be anonymous, you can go to don'tworrywednesday.com and submit a topic there. Or you could even type it in the chat. However you want to do it is good by us. With all that said, Joe, I think you're unfrozen now, and you're probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. All right, I'm going to jump into this topic.
Yes,
by the
let's
way,
do the
guys,
topic.
while I go ahead and load that up, how are you all? And happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I'm
All
so
right.
good. If there were two of me, I'd be twins.
Wow. I still don't understand that.
I said it differently tonight.
Yeah, it's different this time with the twins thing. I don't know how you split the two people.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, yeah, you're so happy that your atoms are shaking with such ferocity that you split
Dude,
into.
you have no idea how excited I am
duplicate.
right now. Like, don't I look? This is my excited face.
Dang, dude, that's so excited. Amazing.
All right. Yeah, let's do Kendra's topic.
All right, let's
Kendra's
do it.
got very little time.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and transition to that. All right. I have got it on the screen for us now. This is from Kendra. says loss of a friend is the title, and if you want to read along, feel free to do so. It's on the screen. Otherwise, it reads as follows. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. I wish I could say the same. I found out this morning, October 29th, 2025, that a dear friend of mine that I have known since 2017 passed away on August 31st, 2025. Our mutual friend group hadn't heard from him well over 2 months, and we became concerned. We called him Birdie, as his YouTube channel was called Birdie Senpai. Birdie worked in a hospital as a nurse and also had land had land with some horses, so he was a busy guy. It was normal for us not to hear from him for no more than 2 weeks at a time. 2 of our friends talked to him almost daily, and he always responded to them. He did have some health issues concerning his heart. There was a time we didn't hear from him for a few days, and that is when we found out from him, his IRL friend, DT, that Birdie had been admitted to the hospital for a heart attack. All of us had been telling Birdie to take it easy, that he didn't need to push himself so hard. Birdie was just a hardworking, God-fearing / loving man, and a private man as well. He talked about his family and some of the history that his family had been related to. It was always so interesting to hear him talk about who he was related to and how. Birdie had always told us that every man in his family had died before the age of 50 due to heart condition. Last time that our friend Shadow talked to him was towards the end of July, middle of August. I hadn't heard anything from him since July as well. We found out from TT today that on August 31st, Birdie had gone in for emergency heart surgery as he had another heart attack, but he didn't make it. All of our friends are devastated. We had all planned at some point to surprise Birdie with a vacation to Florida with all of our friends. We had never met in person, but we all video chatted on Discord. The one thing I can take comfort in is that I still have his voice recordings he did for me for my channel, so I can go back and listen to it often when I miss him. We would often with him on how much he looks like Markiplier and how he almost sounded like him too, sometimes. Birdie was like an older brother to me. He was 6 years older than me, but that didn't matter. He was the best friend a person could ask for. He always had some sort of wisdom to give for a problem you would have, and could make you laugh no matter what. Honestly, when our friend started to ask me if I had talked to Birdie back in September, I became concerned, especially when our friend couldn't get a hold of him. I had a gut feeling we weren't going to talk to him again, but I still prayed that he was okay, even if he somehow landed in a coma. The tears have not stopped since I found out this morning. I am fine, and then I start crying. It's like when I lost my Auntie Lou and Grandpa all over again, but this time it feels worse. Feels worse because I couldn't do anything about it, especially since he lived in another state. I couldn't find out what happened to him because I only have his Discord to be able to communicate. All I could do was pray that he was okay. I even prayed and asked God that if Birdie was gone, to just tell me, let me know some way that he was gone. It took almost 2 months for us to find out that he was gone. He doesn't have many family left, and only close in real life friends. So, more than likely, they had to go through all his stuff and I am sure TT was also grieving and didn't think to tell any of his friends on Discord what happened. All I can do now is pray. Honestly, I don't want to go to community choir tonight, but I need to. I need something to distract myself, even if it's only for a couple of hours. I might even leave choir early because all of our friends are going to get in a chat tonight and do a small memorial and just talk. I really wish I could be with all of them and hug them all. Thank you for listening. Sorry this was long and rambly. I need to get this off my chest. God bless, Kendra. Thank you, Kendra, for this. Yeah, it's okay that it was long. And sorry for my slow reading. But I did my best. This is
You did great.
yeah, this is really sad and tragic, right? And of course you'd be crying. Of course that this would be painful. And it does sink, that we live in this world where oh, sorry, hold on, let me switch the transition back. We live in this world where we have so many ways of communication, but there's so many friends that we have online, and they never hear of like the tragedies that are happening to us in real life. And that happens. There are many times where I've experienced the same, where I have a friend and I don't hear from them in 3 months, and I'm finally get a hold of them. I'm like, wow, what happened? And it's like, like they went to the hospital for a long time. Things happened, and it's interesting being a online friend and not being in that person's physical life, so you don't know, and it's really hard. I've been in those positions where you don't know what's going on, so all you can do is pray. And I think prayers are good and they're helpful, regardless of whether the health changes of the person. God hears those prayers and makes good use of them. All that's something I can think about immediately is we've got All Souls Day, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day coming up. You're a Catholic, so you've got the same, and that's a good time to pray for those who lost, especially for those in purgatory. For All Souls Day, that's one of the biggest days that people find themselves going from purgatory into heaven. So it's a really, really important day to pray on. So I would suggest doing that. But yeah, it's very sad, and it's hard. I don't think I can really comfort you too much. I know it's just something that's painful, and it is painful. And we've talked many times. You've been with us for a long time. We've been with you for your aunt passing and your grandpa passing, I believe, both of those.
Yep.
And so and your cat passing, if not more than one. And so we've been with you through a lot of these. And a lot of times all we can say is, you're amazing for having such a kind and loving heart, for caring so much, and dealing with this the best you can. And just the love and the prayers that you shower over them, I think is really important, really good, honorable. So with that, I'm just gonna give it over to Joe and pray that we can, do this honor. Yeah.
Yeah. Kendra, I'm so sorry. It sounds like Neonside knew Birdie as well. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. I know what it's like to lose people, and it's really painful. But also, I mean, it's a fact of life. I'm reminded of there's a line in one of the Lord of the Rings movies where one of the hobbits was really afraid. They thought they were going to die and all this kind of stuff, and Gandalf says, he said, I can't believe this is how it ends. And Gandalf looks at him and says, end? Oh, this isn't the end. Death is not the end. And then goes on to explain all this kind of stuff. And and really, I mean, Kendra, you're Catholic, so the teachings on the four last things, and all that kind of stuff. And so death doesn't win for us. I mean, I would say it doesn't win for anybody, really, but like because we're eternal beings. Well, I shouldn't say eternal because we haven't always been, but we're everlasting beings. And at least that's the, belief system I have as a Catholic, and I'm sure you do too, Kendra. But so even though you won't be in the physical proximity of your friend, or be able to talk on Discord and stuff like that, and it's sad to lose that. You can pray for Birdie. You can actually say prayers to Birdie. You can, ask Birdie to pray for you. And death is really just kind of more like a transformation than anything. And, God willing, you guys will see each other again, or for the first time. It sounds like, I don't know if you've ever seen this person IRL, but you'll get to. And I mean, that can give us a little bit of comfort, knowing that it's not the end. Knowing that, we can all be reunited again after this pilgrimage that we have on Earth. And I don't know. I would, when somebody passes, I'm sad. Of course, I'm sad because, I lose contact with that person, especially if I'm close to them and whatnot. But part of me is always a little bit jealous too, because I'm like, I know where they get to go now. Well, I'm pretty sure I know where they get to go now, and I'm kind of jealous of that. Like that sounds like good, but yeah, never met in real life. Yep, I have friends like that too, where I've been in contact with them and never got to meet them in real life, and then the chance never happened. Never got a chance to. But you can remember this person, and it sounds like he had a pretty deep impact on your life, and that can be pretty cool. I think you're doing the right thing by going to community choir. So I won't talk too long because I know you got to leave soon. But it would definitely be good to take a couple hours and do something that can distract you a little bit and take this off your mind, maybe a little. It might always be in the back of your mind for a while, and it might be there just, kind of as an ache for a while. But I'm so sorry, Kendra. I'm sorry for your pain. I'm sorry for your loss, and you and all your friends. And I think it's great that you guys are going to get together and talk and have a memorial. And, um, you know, I'm sure that's what he would have wanted anyway, was for you guys to be closer together anyway. So, Kendra, I appreciate you so much. And I'm sorry for your pain. I know you've experienced a lot of it. And we've been here with you, as Ryan said, through a lot of it. And I know it's so hard. But I also know that times like this, the painful times, create a deeper level of character. And they really help us become more and more whole and learn more about ourselves and deepen our perspectives. And it makes you that much more able to help others as you grow like that. And so I'm really proud of you, Kendra, for the growth that you've, been through. I'm proud of you for your resilience, even though it may not seem like you may not feel very resilient, because these things still hurt. They hurt so bad. But I'm proud of you and I admire you. And I'm really, really glad and thankful that I get to know you. So, Kendra, you are so awesome. And I'm going to hand it over to Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I've got too much to say, because it is what it is, right? I can only love on you and only go so far. But yeah, you said you really appreciate.
You don't need to.
sorry for starting off a sad topic. Don't worry about it. It's like
No, you don't need to. There's
Don't
no
Worry
need to
Wednesday.
apologize for that.
Yeah.
We deal with sad topics all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
some are sad. You know, it's like Don't Worry Wednesday gets to show every strain of life. You know, you got happy moments, sad moments, intense moments, and you know, it's kind of it's good, and the whole gamut is good.
Well, it's the richness of life, you know. I mean,
yeah, what's the point of Don't Worry Wednesday? Yeah, exactly. So, thanks for sharing. And I'm sorry that I'm sorry that Birdie has passed on, but like Joe was saying, it's good because it's, you never got to meet him in real life, but if heaven is more real than earth, then you'll get him to meet him in real life someday, and that could be very beautiful. Sounds like he was a really lovely person, and so I would say just continue to pray for him, and that's the best thing you can do. And that's a beautiful thing, and you've already done that, so it's fortunately I don't have much to say. I feel like,
well, that's okay. Kendra's got to go anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
You better find your music.
Find
your music.
We love you, Kendra, and we thank you for the topic, and we thank you for all the love that you have for people and the world. Mm-hmm. You're amazing. We love you. Thank you, Kendra.
Thank you.
I hope everything goes well for you and your choir and every day. I know that it can be hard to do stuff like that. The distraction can be nice.
Yep. And, since you're going to be singing, you may find a new level of expression in your voice as you travel through this emotional whirlwind.
Yeah.
Music is one of those amazing things where, like you can really, when you're feeling a deep emotion, it can really bring out a level of expression that you didn't know you had. I know I've experienced that many times as I'm playing through some pain. It's just, it's crazy how that is. You just let all those feelings flow out of you through your singing, your instrument playing, all that. And it can be a very, very beautiful thing and very heartwarming. So thank you, Kendra.
God bless. Thanks. Yeah, that's lovely. All right. Well, we do have another topic we can do.
We do.
Yeah. We haven't done a topic that fast since like 1943 before we were doing the
1943.
Show. Yeah. Maybe a little bit later than that. Maybe it was 2000.
When the internet was just a child.
Yeah. A small child. You really didn't get much time. You got about a kilobyte of information. Took about like 3 minutes to get to you. So
in 1943.
Yeah. I actually in 1943 didn't even have the internet. I'm pretty sure.
There was no internet.
Yeah. If there
computers were the size of a room.
Yeah, exactly. If there was something similar to the internet, then it was just
Your phone has more computing power than room-sized computers in the 40s, right?
Yeah.
If there were even computers. I don't even know if there were computers then.
I don't know. Well, technically there were, because a computer is just something that computes things, and a clock is technically a computer.
Oh, well then, we've had computers forever.
Yeah.
Because we have people, and people compute things.
My wife is looking
computers.
Yeah.
She's looking up when computers were started.
I don't know. She was looking up 1946 computers. It says the modern electronic computer was invented in 1946. What did I say? 1946.
43.
Oh, I said 43. Oh man, I was 3 years early.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, oh man. There was no Don't Worry Wednesday in 1943.
I'll tell you what, there was not.
There
It might have been some kind of seminar, but there was no Don't Worry
is
Wednesday.
something.
Ah.
Oh,
Oh. British Codebreaker.
Colossus.
Ah.
Oh yeah, that was there was a movie called The
Wow.
Imitation Game, I think it was called.
Wow.
That
See,
was
that's a
about
computer.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there you go. See?
Yep.
There's definitely no internet. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, the guy that plays Doctor Strange, Benedict
Oh.
Cumberbatch.
Benedict
Yeah.
Cumberbatch. I like
He was
Doctor
good.
Strange. That was a good movie.
Yep. That's my favorite Marvel hero.
I think probably mine as well, though I don't care for the second movie, Doctor Strange 2. That one was
Multiverse of Madness.
that was a hurl image of, well, you could tell that the writer was used to writing horror stories. Let's say that.
Ah, yes, because it did have some horrorness to
Yeah,
it.
it had the slow monster chasing the fast people. It had jump scares. It just like had a bunch of really off, like not even topical things just happen. It was just really, really weird, that one. And I get it. They were trying to make it strange,
Yeah.
I guess. But
It's Doctor Strange.
yeah, I just felt like it was,
The first Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel movies.
yeah.
It was, I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, that was my favorite Marvel movie that I saw, was that one.
Mhm.
That was really good. Anyways, Cucumber, that's right.
Cucumber.
Cucumber batch. All right, so do you guys want to do this next topic? It comes from Gamer.
Comes from Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do this topic.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the screen for you guys. This one's a short one, but in terms of words, so if you want to read, this is one of the easier ones you can do with me. All right, let's work together on this.
Read it.
All right, you can read it
Yes,
along with me.
do it.
All
You
right.
can do it.
It's on the
I
screen. It's by
believe in
Gamer.
all of you.
Yeah, I believe in you guys. Say it aloud together. It reads as follows. You don't have to, guys. I don't want to pressure you. It's fine. Okay, whatever. Okay. Anyways, it reads as follows. Not sure how to feel about killing and death in video games when I avoid it in other media and in real life. Not sure how to feel about killing and death in video games when I avoid it in other media and in life. From Gamer. Hey, that's a good topic.
Uh-huh.
That makes sense. And I suppose at times I think about similar things. Wonder why the topic isn't up here. It says it's there.
Did you hit the start button?
Yeah, and it was doing it. It wasn't showing the topic.
Oh, boy.
Whatever. Well, it'll appear or it won't appear. I'll work on it later if
All
it
right.
doesn't. Anyhow, yeah. Thank you for this topic, by the way, Gamer.
Yes.
And yeah, it is a bit of a conundrum, I suppose, right? Because you're watching a movie, and when the death happens in it, it can be sad, or it can just be like, especially if it's killing, you might just be like, this is too much, and you want to kind of walk away from it. I get that. There are many movies, like 99% of movies I don't even like, and sometimes they just like doing things like killing and stuff for no good reason, I guess, for the ratings, whatever. I don't know. They think it's meaningful, I suppose, to drive a point, and sometimes that can be true, but sometimes it's unnecessary. And I guess, yeah, there's a lot I could say on this, and I can understand this. I feel like it is a part of life. It is a real thing that happens, but I understand wanting to avoid it, to be sure. So yeah, no, this is a good question, because it also involves things like even like if you don't swear because you're a person who says, I don't really want to swear and I don't like doing that and I'm not comfortable with people swearing, but then you end up listening to music that has a lot of swearing in it, it's like, well, why, where's the, like, yeah, where's the line drawn? So it's a really good kind of philosophical question to dive into. That, I'm gonna give it over to Joe, and I'm gonna attempt to fix this topic thing that, for whatever reason.
All right. You do it, Ryan. I
Oh,
believe in you.
thank you.
I believe you can. Yes.
Thank you.
Gamer, I understand your conundrum, and I feel for you. My conundrums, my sensitive places are not the same. The killing and death in gaming and in movies and shows and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really bother me too much. But that doesn't say that doesn't mean that I'm better than you or anything like that. It just that we have different sensitive areas. And so this is totally understandable that you would be like, I don't know how to feel about this because I avoid this stuff in media and in real life and everything like that. And so if it makes you uncomfortable, it's okay. This kind of stuff makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And so you the beauty is there are a lot of video games that don't include death and killing and stuff like that. Personally, I enjoy a lot of those games. Well, it depends. Like I enjoy first person shooter games, third person shooter games. I enjoy those types of games. Those are mainly the ones I play when I actually do play games. But I'm not a big fan of the horror games, the ones that are really graphic and like there's all this torture and stuff like that. Like Dead by Daylight, my son really got into that game for a while, and I was just kind of horrified by this game. I was like, whoa, it's and it made me mad because like I always felt like I was getting the short end of the stick in this game. but um but yeah, I mean you can avoid them. If it bothers you, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you if that kind of thing bothers you. And so you can play other games, and that's totally okay. Now, if you have like a friend group and all of your friends play games like that and you want to feel like you're included or whatever, um, I can understand there being somewhat of a conundrum there and somewhat of a difficulty because it's like, I don't really feel like playing these games, but I really want to hang out with my friends, and that's the kind of games they like. And, that can bring in a little bit of stress. But you can ask your friends, can we play something different? Or, if that's the case where you have friends that are doing that and you don't want to be a part of it, um, you can definitely excuse yourself. Uh, I I would have a hard time playing romance games. I remember sitting in and playing
I can't imagine you
Doki
doing
Doki Literature Club.
Mm-hmm.
You can't imagine me what?
I can't imagine you sitting and playing a romance game for very long.
No, it was well, I didn't even get very far. Like I know Doki Doki Literature Club is a horror game, right? But we never got to that part before. I was so triggered and I like had to leave because like there's all these girls that are being all schmoozy with you, and they're just like me, me, me. And I'm just like, oh, get this away from me, right? So, you know, but these are things that we all have our sensitive spots. And the goal of your life isn't to desensitize yourself necessarily. I would like to get to the point where I can grow where some of my sensitive topics are not quite so sensitive. Some of those spots, they don't bother me like they do now, or I like to grow, but it's not a necessity. It's not a requirement. So it's okay. It's okay for you to be this way. It's okay for you to feel this way. And it's okay for you to not play games like that if you don't want to. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So, I don't know. You're not sure how you feel about death and killing. I'm not sure how I feel about love and kissing in video games. Like, and hand holding. That's like the worst.
Interesting.
Yeah. But Beyonce has a good point. The death in video games is unlike our reality because most of the time everything respawns. Exactly. Like you die in like Overwatch or something, and then you respawn in 10 seconds with full health. There's nothing wrong with you at all. Like all those injuries that you would have sustained, they're just gone. But it's not really realistic in those sense. But there's I don't know, there's some charm to it, I guess. But anyway, I don't know. That's what I had to start. So I want to turn it over to Ryan. I'd like to hear what Ryan has to say about it.
Sure.
So Ryan?
Yeah, this is something that I thought about a bit too, because I'm working on a game now with my wife and, making one. And it, it's like...
Is there a romance arc in this game?
No.
That's good.
Yeah. In fact, you play as a priest or a nun at the moment. That's what we've got. So neither of those are allowed to romance. So you'd be happy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyways.
I am happy. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We did that for you, Joe. No, that's not true. We didn't,
you did? Yeah. I'm sure.
There was no romance necessarily intended. But anyhow, you can play with a friend or a partner or whatever, but want it to be co-op. Anyways, there's something I thought about, because I didn't want to have it like, I don't necessarily want to condone or encourage killing and so on and so forth, but at some point I kind of realized, because I was like, how do I make a game that is fun and challenging, and you feel like you're progressing and you're being pitted against difficult situations that are live and in your face and requiring you to act with timely, quickly and all these kinds of things. And it's interesting because I think war or battle or violence or whatever just ends up being something that we can use for that. And here's the thing. Chess is a game of killing.
Yeah.
Checkers is a game of killing. Stratego, however you want to pronounce it, it's a game of killing. It's the idea is you've got your pawns and your rooks, and then your objective is to conquer the battlefield and kill their king. And until their king dies, you haven't won the game.
But the king doesn't ever die. The
yeah,
king
sometimes
just
it's just checkmate.
Check, and then exactly.
Yeah, that's true. The king is not. The king doesn't die, but everybody else has to die. So, yeah. The potentially more innocent people are dying than the king.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Actually, it reminds me of my wife and I are watching One Piece, and it seems that the only people that die in that, from what I've seen of it, is just like anyone who's a villain, anyone who's like a hero, whatever, they never die. Like you'll be sure they're dead, but they'll come back. But like the innocent people, the just innocent bystanders, or the people that are just like under the command of these officers, they all die. They like by the hundreds. But the people that are like in command and causing all of this death and destruction, yeah, no, they get to live. I'm like, come on, just kill the guy, stop him. Many times I'm like, no, death is the answer here. That guy's awful. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, but you kind of get it. So the way I think about death in video games is the video games are a set of code, right, to represent essentially just a bunch of numbers. Like all of it is calculations. And so you you deal damage and you do, how much damage do you do? You do 125 damage. Okay, on a health pool of 1,032. It's like, okay. And so I have to hit them a bunch of times, in order for them to go down, but I also have to make sure they don't hit me so that I don't die first, right? And so you hide behind walls that have infinite HP, and then it's like it's a lot of it is actually just numbers game, and then skill of how well you can use, implement that. How well you can, sometimes it's strategy, sometimes it's skill, sometimes it's both, sometimes it's neither. Sometimes it's entirely luck. They have a lot of card games that are fun. I played a lot of Magic the Gathering growing up. And the idea there is you are, again, killing the other person's creatures or enchantments or whatever in their cards. But what is it really? It's just make believe. None of it's real. None of it's really there. You're just playing with numbers. And numbers, math, etc., isn't fun usually, but when you play it in a game and you've got all these different aspects and environments going on and things that are out of your control and things that are in your control, kind of like real life, and you have the physics and and all this kind of stuff you're dealing with and get to enjoy and get to explore and find and go through. Yeah, a lot of it is numbers, a lot of it's math. Not all of it, some of it is like just finding treasure chests, finding things throughout the game that it can be fun to find. Some people really like puzzle games. I'm not really into them because I find that, I don't know, they're just not that enjoyable for me for one reason or another. But, puzzle games, a lot of times they're math too. They require math in the code at the very least. So the way I look at it personally is, while killing and death in movies and in real life or in history, as we can see it, it's real. It happens. It's in a way a part of life, even though we shouldn't have the killing part. That'd be great if we didn't, but death is a part of life, and it's sad. As much as I would also kind of avoid that kind of stuff, like I would avoid a movie that's all about killing for no reason, but just that. I avoid horror movies. I don't really care to watch too much of that stuff either, right? Especially if it's just intended to be like a thriller for the graphics and the horror and so on and so forth. But I feel like in real life, obviously that's you would avoid that in real life, killing people and death in general, I suppose, because it's real. It's people. It's actual living people that have incredibly infinite value. But in a video game or a storytelling or a movie, that's not a real person, but it might depict a real person who has value. It kind of feels like something there. But I think for sure in video games, board games, and probably a lot of movies, the things that are dying are not infinitely valuable. The things that are dying are just little tiny bits of code that represent a figure in the game to make the game move forward, or backwards or whatever. But I think that there's a big difference between something that's real and something that's fake. And a lot of times we resort to the violence in video games because that is a type of puzzle, a type of game where you can feel like you have a lot of control over a character and the person against you also has a lot of control, and they have lots of abilities, lots of skills, lots of ways to change the game, the way the game works for you. The person versus person has so many dynamics and possibilities we can draw from that can be fun to try to best the other person in combat. There's just so much to work with there that that's what we end up using and kind of defaulting to in video games. You can try to make a similar concept with, sliding pieces on a board, I guess, like dominoes or something. But it's hard to get the whole breadth and width that combat has with something like that, right? And so, yeah, I think we just default to combat in video games because it's so robust and so it can be enjoyed. It can be enjoyed because you have so much that can happen, but still have limits, and we can relate to it. We can relate to the combat because we're human. We can relate to the combat because we have arms and legs and could pick up tools and use them. It doesn't always have to be combat. There's some really good games out there that's kind of just about sneaking around, but you get to control a human. So what does a human face, right? And I think it's like, well, a human faces other humans. And what does that ultimately devolve into? I mean, it can devolve into many things, but a lot of times it's the main violence. We love the superheroes that we find on video games or movies or even in the Bible or history itself, right? We can find those superheroes that are just incredible people who fought for something, and they stood for something that they believed was good, and they fought for goodness, and that's something that inspires us and something that we can get to do in video games. And in video games, it feels way more. There's way more depth in that than a game of chess. And I'm not condoning chess, of course. But my point is, I think for video games,
chess is a horrible game.
Yeah, chess is an awful game. You guys, disgusting for playing it. No, but we've got so many more tools to us available that we can have these computers run thousands of calculations a second. Actually, thousands of calculations a millisecond, and create these landscapes and worlds that we can go through, and it's absolutely amazing. That you can't quite get that depth in a board game, but a lot of times board games are about killing too. It's just the same thing. It's video games have been the same kind of it's the same thing since the beginning. Games are games. You have sports where people kick balls and hurt each other all the time. One of the first sports we can find in history is it's like this game where you kick a ball, but the ball was made out of something hard, and people would bust their legs open all the time on it and bleed all over the field, and it was brutal. Whoa. And a lot of times the game ended because someone died. We also used to have coliseums where people would fight each other to the death. Now, that's the worst
or it would just be people out there, and they'd send in tigers and bears and stuff to go kill them.
Yeah.
Just watch them get ripped apart by an animal.
And I think,
and people loved it.
Yeah, crazy. I couldn't bear to watch that, but people loved it back then, and I think that you can make a story in your mind and play. And it can be about a hero saving lives. And you could say, the villain killed 13 people in this one scene. But then, the superhero came and saved the day. You could say that. And I just did. And it can be a holy thing. It doesn't, no one actually got hurt. But if someone actually did get hurt, if someone comes in to save the day in real life, that's a good thing. So, I don't know. I think that there's a difference between taking real people and putting them in a coliseum and making them fight for their life versus playing a game, in your head, playing a game, or even watching a movie, but that's my take on it. I don't know. I like what Joe had to say. Everyone's got their different tastes in what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy, and that's perfectly normal. I agree completely. I feel like my tastes are often different than most people's tastes because I don't tend to like the games that people seem to play the most.
I know.
So I'm
I
just
know
like,
you like love and romance and all that kind of stuff, and you don't like swearing. Like we're so opposite.
I've never played a romance game, I don't think.
No, but just IRL in real life,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
all.
yeah, sure, okay. That's true. I suppose that's right. I mean, I don't know if I've ever played a romance game. I don't think I have. I refuse to play like a visual novel because yeah. Mm-mm. Just really don't like those games.
Man, they
But
tried. I remember there was a few years ago, like around Valentine's Day,
mm-hmm.
they came out with Lover Watch,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
which was like the Overwatch
Oh
dating sim
yes,
thing,
yeah,
right?
I
It
remember
was
that.
like so lame. I'm just like, people loved it, whatever. I'm saying it was lame in my mind because that stuff really bothers me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
Yeah, that's fine.
right, August,
Okay.
I got roped into playing Doki Doki. I was triggered for like a week.
Oh man. Yeah, I could never play that myself. Yeah. Yeah. Joe was talking
Yeah,
about that earlier. By the way, welcome to August. Anyways,
just
that's my take
welcome.
on all of it. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
Good take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, well, here's the thing. Like, gamer, I gotta tell you, sometimes y- I will restate what I said before, that there's nothing wrong with you. It's okay. You are made up a certain way, and you have things that you like and things that make you uncomfortable and things that whatever. And we all have a makeup like that, where certain things we really gravitate towards, certain things we, really try and avoid, certain things, really bother us, and we run that gamut, right? Violence is, you know, it's a weird thing. It seems like we have a lot of really bloodthirsty people out there because there's a lot of really violent games out there, and they're really
Mm.
popular, you know? And so I think, there's more and more. It used to be that if you like most people out there don't really have a propensity for violence. Like they don't have the capacity to be violent and to do violence, right?
Mm-hmm.
So most people kind of fall into that category. Whereas, there are people who have a capacity for violence and they're evil and they create a lot of problems in this world and they become psychopaths and, they can do crazy, crazy things. They can do genocide on massive scales and, all this. And if there isn't somebody out there with a capacity for violence doing good, then those people that are doing evil, violent things can just run over, huge, massive amounts of people and take over. But, and this is where I would salute our military. I would salute police officers, um, like people who have a capacity to handle violence, but are doing it for good. Now, here's the thing. I also recognize not all police officers and military people are doing it for good. But when you're doing it to defend your fellow man, when you're doing it to stop the the crazy person or the psychopath or whatever, then you're really doing a very good thing. And you're using your capacity for violence in a good way. But it's okay to not have a capacity for violence. It's totally okay. And so you're fine just the way you are. But yeah, nobody should ever force you to do something that makes you uncomfortable. And if playing games like that are uncomfortable, then you are free to not play them, my friend. And it's okay. If people judge you for that, then that's a problem that they have. And, you know, I don't know. I've had to learn that the hard way. Like if somebody pressures me to do something that I feel uncomfortable with, it's like, why do I even have this friend? I have to sometimes, collect myself and be like, wait a second. And then maybe reorganize my friendships in a way that is better, if that makes sense. So I'm not advising you to break off friendships. I'm not advising you to do anything drastic like that. I'm not advising any of that stuff. And, we're not professional counselors or anything like that. So, but if somebody is, you know, many, many times and consistently talking to me in a way that makes me uncomfortable, trying to get me to do things that I'm not comfortable with, and I've told them whatever, I'm not into this, and then or if when I tell a friend of mine that I'm not into a certain thing and then they make fun of me, and it's not in like a silly kind of way, but it's like a serious like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" Like they're trying like, whatever. At that point, it's like I really gotta kinda analyze and be like, why am I allowing this type of energy in my life, you know? Like,
Mm,
what benefit is this to either of us, you know? I don't know, I've had to do that. I've had to, introspect myself, I guess,
mm.
where it's like, why?" And because your time is precious, your life is precious, and you've got stuff to do. You've got a purpose for being here, and if you haven't figured that out yet, then you do. I promise you. And it's gonna be unique to you, and this is part of what makes you unique, and it's okay. It's okay for you to be you. So, be you. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, gamer. Appreciate this topic. It was fun, and I'm glad we got to talk about games a little bit. That's fun.
Mhm.
Um, but
We got a new topic in there, did you see?
yeah, I saw that you processed one. So yeah,
I
thank you,
processed it.
gamer. And yeah, sounds like you have a big heart. You care, and that's good. So don't lose
Yeah,
that. Mm,
yeah.
thank you.
You
Yeah,
can go ahead and play Stardew Valley. I won't play it with you.
that one's not a Oh, you can do romance in it though. You don't have to. Stardew Valley is not.
Stardew Valley? I
Yeah, it
heard
doesn't.
that's all a romance game. I heard that's, like, a big romance game.
I mean, can be. It doesn't have to be.
Oh.
Like, okay, so my wife and I played it together. All the NPCs that mention romance, we just stayed away from. Like, no, we don't want to
Oh.
do that. Why would we romance you? And so we didn't. It's like you don't have to. So it's not necessarily a romance game.
Mhm.
I don't remember ever really
It's a
encountering too
ha-ha
much.
funny money game?
Yeah, it is.
Stardew Valley is ha-ha funny money?
Yeah, it's a funny money game.
Is there killing involved? Can you like, if somebody tried to romance me in Stardew Valley, could I kill him?
If you okay, so there's like these creatures in the cave that try to they get a little too close and they damage
Mm.
you. If you could consider that romance, then the answer is yes.
I mean, yeah, that's what romance is, right? It's somebody getting close to you trying to damage you. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's if you take it that way, then sure. Yeah.
I'm
I
just
just
kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
I agree. I agree with Say it has always been weird to me when characters in video games try to romance you. And it's like, yeah, but yeah, someone wrote those lines. It's like this old stinky dude.
Some old guy. Some old
Yeah.
guy like Joe.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Wow, Joe's not that old.
gross.
He's only 198 or
I'm
whatever.
172 still.
Oh, wow. Dang, you got a long way to go.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. You're teaching my
I love you
romance
guys.
games.
Hey, Mianglios, good to see you, buddy.
Google the creator of your
Google the
romance games.
creator.
That's who you're really trying to.
Oh
That's really trying to
no!
romance here. That's so funny. That's hilarious. I love that. I love that. Oh man, that's so good.
Wait, there's
okay.
a mine where you can kill creatures, but again, you don't need to go there. That's where I'd want to go. If that's the
where I
place I
go.
can kill people.
That's
If
where
I'm
I
gonna
go.
go kill
I
creatures. I'm gonna
fight
go
the
kill them.
monsters. Mhm.
But wait a minute now, Ryan.
Mhm.
Do you eat the creatures after you kill them in the video game?
Yes,
You really?
in the form of experience points.
Oh.
I consume them. That would be interesting to have a game where you only gain experience points if you eat the creature.
If you eat the creature,
So you have to beat them up, but you also have to eat them, which means you can't take too much time. Like other creatures will come and try to eat you while you're eating it.
Well, but then do you remember like Dragon Warrior?
Oh yeah, Dragon Warrior was great.
Like one of the first. I remember going and fight. Like you go walking around, and then all of a sudden something would attack you.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, especially early in the game, it was a slime.
It was a slime. Yeah. Do you want to eat that?
And you're just like, do I want to eat a slime? No, I just want to kill it.
Yeah, but maybe it's just like a giant piece of yummy jelly, and
Yeah.
you could eat slime.
Oh, hey Jeff, what's going on?
Hey,
Jeff said, I believe one of my daughters has mentioned Stardew Valley, but not any romance, and I've never asked either. Got you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't remember too much romance in that game at all, really. You can make. You have some. There's a relationship system, but the relationship system isn't a romance relationship. Just how your relation with that NPC. There are romance things. There's mods that you can put on, and I know that there's romance mods where they allow you to date the NPCs, but it's like a mod thing. I don't know. I can't remember. You can marry in Stardew Valley? Oh, okay. I can't remember. It's not a mod. Okay.
You know, that was one of the most like I played Red Dead Redemption. I played Red Dead Redemption 2 first, and then Red Dead Redemption 1 I started playing after I beat Red Dead Redemption 2. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a great game because it's all like just shooting and killing. And, like that's the kind of games I like.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is Old West, like cowboy, like, villainy type of stuff. Right. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. So this should be safe for me because there's probably not any romance in it. But lo and behold,
95% low.
there's this whole romance arc in there. And it's just like, really? And then I'd just be all like, okay, when can I shoot somebody?
Really now I really need to shoot somebody after watching that. Wow. That's funny. Great. All right. Well, let's do the next topic.
All right.
Yeah,
let's do the next one.
This one is from Hello. I'm going to go ahead and put this topic on the screen for you. You can feel free to read along.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Say goodbye, I say hello. Okay, anyways. This is from Hello, and it is titled Therapy, ... And it reads as follows. Should I do therapy? I often feel like I need therapy, but whenever I actually go to sign up, I write down my issues, and in writing them, I actually solve the problem. This happens every month. The same problems don't always pop up again. Journaling just takes so much effort, 100% of my brain, and then I'm exhausted afterwards. From Hello.
Okay.
Very fair.
Good question. Good question, Hello.
Hello. Yeah, thank you for this question, by the way. I really appreciate the topics. Anybody else who has a topic, please feel free to write it in, and we'd be happy to do them. Yeah, therapy is not something that I'm well acquainted with. I've never taken therapy. I considered being a therapist when I was in college, but I didn't want to take the courses that were available at my college for it because they were going down the wrong rabbit holes. based on my experience of what my friend who was in them was telling me. I was like, that is not right. So, anyways,
They're probably very Freudian.
it was exactly. It was 100%
Mhm.
Freudian, and like my friend was taking it as like
It's a shame.
as if it was truth, and I was like, that is not solid truth. That's just Freudian, you know. That's just yeah. Anyways, it's like not everything has to do with anyway, not everything has to do with romance, all right? It's not some relationship between your mom and you or whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, Freud had some interesting ideas, that's for sure.
Yeah, anyways, he had some things that were helpful and right, but then, there's a bit of truth in some, but anyways, regardless, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of history with therapy. I know people who have taken therapy and have improved due to it, and I know people who have done therapy and hated it and didn't really have a very good time. But I've known more to have a good time. I've known more to actually help solve their problems, at least in the recent past. So that's really good. And so, yeah, honestly, with that beginning of mine, I'm gonna give it to someone who has done therapy and might have say self. Joe, I'm gonna give it over to you.
I just love how you said, I know people who've done therapy and, it's been a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
okay, good time as in it's been fruitful. It's been
helpful. I got you.
It's a
right.
time that has produced good results, not necessarily.
Yes, thank you.
Man, I love doing therapy. Yeah.
Because most of the time it's not a fun time, right? When you're in there, it's not really that good of a time because you're opening up wounds and you're dealing with stuff that's really painful and you're talking through it and it's necessary sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so hello. This is gonna be weird because every time I say your name, it's gonna sound like I'm greeting you. But
starting over. Hello.
So hello. Um, should I do therapy is your question. And I don't know. That's a really good question. And I don't know if the answer is yes or no. I can't really tell you either way. I will say it sounds to me like you're kind of, just so in your topic, it says, when you go to sign up, you write down your issues because that's what you do. Like when you go to sign up for therapy, you go to their website or whatever, and then they're asking you like, okay, well, describe what's going on. And so you describe what's going on. And then, and you're saying, hello, that, when you do that, then you actually solve the problem. Just the act of typing it out and getting it out in front of you, right? And you solve the problem and you feel better. And that's great. If that's the case, I don't necessarily know if you need to go see a therapist. What I found. Oh, is this you, August? Are you hello?
I think August is playing with you.
Okay. Oh, you're awesome. Okay. So anyway, back to the topic. When I discovered, there have been a handful of times that I've been in therapy. First time I was in therapy, I was a kid. I was like 7 or 8 years old, right? And I didn't choose to go to therapy. I was taken there by my parents. And because they didn't know what to do with me at that point in time, and I can't blame them. Being a parent now and knowing what was going on back then, I can't blame them one bit because it was a really difficult time. August, you're so silly. Silly boy. So then the second time was when I had I had graduated high school and I went to college. I went to Michigan State University and I had a nervous breakdown like the second semester I was there, and everything just kind of fell apart. And I dropped out of school and I ended up I flipped out. I was way overstressed. I was not on the right path in my life. I felt pressure from all angles, and it was really difficult. And here was the thing that I've discovered over the course of my life that really, really contributed to that a lot was that I was drinking alcohol. And the alcohol is a depressant. And I'm not saying that you're evil if you drink or that it's bad, to drink in moderation. I would say I would advise against going out and partying and being drunk all the time. But to drink alcohol is not evil, but alcohol is a depressant. And so if you have, an issue or you're feeling down and, you start drinking, it can just make everything so much worse. And that's a really big trap because a lot of times we feel bad, and so we're like, "Oh, I gotta feel better," and so a lot of people will turn to alcohol. And then that creates more of a downward spiral because then it just makes you more depressed, and then you're depressed, and then you wake up in the next day and you're more depressed than you were before, and you're like, "Oh, I need to escape these issues," and so drink some more, right? And then it creates a deeper sinking into the problem, and it can become just this downward spiral of issues, right? And so that was a contributing factor when I went there. But um my life was falling apart at that point. And so I went and saw a therapist. And got help and got back on the right track, and it was really, really helpful. It took some time, but it definitely helped me and got me back on the right track and helped me think clearly and get back on point and on purpose, right? So then the third time I was in therapy was just a few years ago. And that was just because um everything was getting crazy, and I was getting I didn't know it at the time yet, but I was about to file for divorce, excuse me, for divorce. And everything was so stressful and painful and difficult. Here's the thing. I know I need to go find therapy when whatever's going on in my head, all the issues that are going on in my head, they're messing with my day-to-day life. Like I can't function as I'm supposed to with what I'm trying to do. When I lose that functionality because of the mental issues that are happening, that's when I know I need to go seek therapy. Because if I can handle it, if I can, deal with it and still function and still take care of what I need to take care of and do the things I need to do, and I'm just maybe sad or going through some issues and I need to think through some things, then I don't necessarily need therapy at that point. At least in my mind, this is kind of how I qualify it. But when it starts messing with my day-to-day life on a regular basis and like I can't get myself to go do my job, or I can't get myself to, do whatever, or it's I'm out there working and it's like screwing with my head. There's all kinds of stuff going on and I'm just not functioning well. That's when I know I need to seek therapy. And so you can use that criteria with yourself if you want. And it's not necessarily like every time, every now and then you have a bad day, you're not very functional, and that's okay. You're human. We all have that. We all experience that from time to time, right? But when it's consistent and it's messing with me at a consistent level day after day after day, and it's like, all right, something's a problem. I need to go and seek therapy. And it was a really good thing that I did that last time because I was right. I didn't realize how on the edge I was, but I was, and I needed help. I didn't even really realize I needed help, but I did. And I'm glad I got it. And I ended up in all three cases, I ended up pretty lucky. I got a pretty good therapist right off the bat. It's not always the case. Sometimes you don't get a therapist that you click with, and you gotta find somebody else. And that's okay. There's no shame in that at all. But that's kind of how I've determined whether or not I need therapy. You also say in your topic, journaling just takes so much effort, 100% of my brain, and then I'm exhausted afterwards. But in a way, that's journaling is kind of what you're doing when you fill out that form to find a therapist. Because it's asking you what the issues are you need addressed, and you type it all out and you figure it out and you solve the problem in the act of typing it out. And that's why journaling can be so powerful. And you're right, it does take effort. Sometimes I have done journaling sessions. I've been journaling for a long time, but I've had journaling sessions where I am just absolutely spent afterward. I'm exhausted and probably heartbroken, because I'm reliving certain moments, and putting it out on paper. But it's kind of like purging these issues, and so I can get them out of my head and onto paper. And in the act of doing that, it's kind of like flushing it out. And when we write, it's so weird. When we write and when we, try and compile all these thoughts and categorize them and make sense of them through the act of writing, just doing that kind of lines them up, and we can organize our thoughts a little bit better just by writing them down. Part of me is like, if I get it down on paper, I don't have to think about it anymore. And so like it kind of helps that way. But then other times it's just like just writing it out gets it in front of me, and I can be like, okay, this is what's going on. And once I see it, solutions start to pop into my head. It's a really, really powerful form of processing an emotional issue. And so um it's not uncommon for you to, you know, feel like journaling takes a lot of effort, because it can, especially when you're journaling about all that, like difficulties that are going on. It can be exhausting. And so I get that. But in a way, you are kind of journaling once a month, right? When you write down the issues on your in your search for a therapist. So I don't know. Part of me wants to encourage you, just keep doing what you're doing. If flushing out your problems onto a therapist website to describe an issue is helpful for you, keep doing it. And you don't even need to go to a therapist website and fill that out. You can just type it out into a form. You can type it out into the Don't Worry Wednesday .com website under the submit a topic area, and and that'd be okay too. We'd be happy to hear from you, and and if there's something you're struggling with, of course, we're here to try and help, and we'd love to be able to. It's our honor to help people when they're struggling. And um so should you seek therapy? I don't know for sure. The answer I would give is I don't know. But then check yourself, ask, is this issue, is it hurting my ability to function in my day-to-day living? If so, that's a strong maybe you should take therapy seriously, like you should seriously consider it. Um but otherwise, I mean, if you're just if when you go do that, if purging these issues in their website helps you solve the issues, then maybe that's all you need. Maybe you just need to kind of like flush it all out and, get all that mumbo jumbo out of you once in a while. And just that act can make you feel better. And if that's all you need to kind of get yourself back on an even keel, then maybe that's all you need, and that's totally fine. There are also a lot of there are a lot of apps out there if you're struggling. There are a lot of different psychological help type apps out there. I've experienced a handful of them. The one that I'm actually going through right now is called Work with Shadow. It is, it costs money. But in my case, with what I was dealing with when I figured this out, it was like, I mean, money was it, it was so worth it to try and get some of these answers. So so that's also another route you can take. There was Better Me, there was Work with Shadow, and there were a few other ones that I tried. A lot of them were geared toward women, and one of them I actually sent a sent a bug report to their developers, and I was like, "Why is everything pink and purple?" And I can't change it. And why is my avatar picture? Why is that a woman? Like, I'm not. You know? So I don't know. It was just kind of funny. But anyway, so that's kind of where that's what I would recommend. I would say, look, maybe you're just fine. But keep an eye on it. And if it starts messing with your day-to-day life, seriously consider it. And that's it. So, Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah, thank
It's all
you, Joe.
yours. Purple
Purple's-
is a great color. It's not a great color, but thank you. And
It is the
pink
color
is
of
not
Don't Worry
cute.
Wednesday.
Pink is gross. Pink is gross.
Jesse's favorite color is purple.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Y'all can have your favorite
Wait, what's
colors.
wrong with pink?
It's okay.
Pink is just red with some white
Pink?
in it.
Pink is gross.
Pink is just red with white in it.
Pink is just gross.
What?
My oldest son's one of his favorite colors is pink.
How can a color be gross?
I don't know. It is.
I guess
I mean, brown is the color of
browns are
poop.
gross.
But I like brown. Brown is great.
But that's like
pink.
Poop. That's gross. Brown is the color
Whatever.
of garbage and poop. Poopy.
I've seen pink garbage.
Plastic.
You know what I see? I see a lot of pink garbage because anything I have that's pink goes in the garbage and it becomes garbage.
Fair. Fair.
I like pink. Does that make you a girl? No. You being a girl makes you a girl.
That's right.
But
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
you can like pink. It's okay. I'm not trying to tell you not to like pink. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you I think pink is gross.
You don't like the color pink. That's okay. That's okay. There are, the colors I don't care for are the yellow greens. Not big on those. But those are the colors. I don't know why I have an opinion about colors. So it's like, they're just colors. Who cares?
Yeah. You're just as manly whether you like pink or not.
I agree. I've got nothing against pink.
So you're a manly girl?
Wait, no, I
manly
think
girl.
if you're a man, you're just as manly. If you're a girl, you're just as girly.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not. Yeah, there's nothing. No, I wasn't meaning it like that at all. Just as manly, which is
That's right. Yeah, it's the same amount of manly. So, which is nothing.
It's the same amount of manly.
Yeah. Fair. That's actually, well put. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Okay, so to jump back on topic here. Hello.
Hello.
Should you do therapy? I think I've got something similar to what Joe was gonna say. I've got a thought though. You say that journaling takes so much effort. It's like 100% of your brain power, and then you're exhausted afterwards, which is understandable and relatable, real. I get that. I think that therapy would also take 100% of your brain and exhaust you afterwards.
Yes. Some sessions are definitely like that for sure.
I think one of the major benefits, however, to therapy is it keeps you, what's the word? Oh, I had it earlier. You have a person who's waiting for you to show up. And so it keeps you coming back. It keeps you on task. Yeah. It does keep you, yeah, a therapist would keep you on task and keep you honest in your efforts, because a therapist would be waiting for you to show up and be there to talk to you about your problems. And a journal is, I mean, technically it's waiting for you, but you have to put in all the effort to make the journal thing happen. Yeah, there's a routine there. There's yeah. So a lot of times just having that other person there whose job it is and whose relationship with you it is to solve these problems, being there can be while it might not be a positive form of inspiration, it can inspire you or keep you steady on going back and getting that. Because when you have another person involved and you know they're waiting for you and you're like, I don't want to disappoint them and not show up, or I don't want to be, I don't want to just like, ditch them, it's like they keep you honest, keep you coming back. And I think that's a big deal. So even if you could solve all of your problems without a therapist, the question is, are you going to journal? Because Joe's right. I mean, it's basically the same thing as, I mean, I suppose it's a little bit more guided if you pull up a therapist document and attempt to work your way through it. It's a little bit more guided. Sure. But as Joe said, I would say you could print one of those off. You could get a PDF of that and then just go through it once a week or something, and find yourself benefiting from that. And that might be the best thing you could do. And I'd say try that. Now, is it going to take 100% of your brain, and then are you going to be exhausted afterwards? Likely, but so would you be with therapy. So it's just something that you're going to have to deal with. If you want to solve your issue that's preventing you from living your life 100% of the time, and sometimes you have to give 100% of your effort and exhaust yourself to solve that problem so that you can get 100% of your faculties back into action and work through the things you want to work through in life without having to all these constant stops. Yeah, that's right. There are websites with therapy homework sheets. Exactly. And yeah, they just get one of those and work through it. I think that would be huge for you. Maybe just work through it once a week if you could remember to do that. Now, again, it's hard when you don't have another person there. I can't even think of the word. But anyways, you don't have another person there kind of supporting you. You have to do it yourself, and that can be difficult. But if you could set an alarm on your phone for Tuesday evening, every Tuesday evening it goes off, and you know what that means. It's as easy as that. Honestly. You're like, oh, I'm busy this time. It's okay. Yeah, fair enough. Like, you could do that, but I think the best thing to do is try to keep thank you, accountable. Thank you, hero. Oh, that's the word I was looking for. Accountable.
Hero, you are the hero.
Yes, accountable.
Hero of the day, change my life, save my life.
Thank you, hero, for being the hero of the day that saves my life. Yes, accountable. Keeps you accountable. Yeah. If you don't feel like you can trust yourself with doing it once a week or whatever you feel like is necessary to get yourself through these problems of life that you're even considering seeing a therapist for, right? If they're big enough for you to consider seeing a therapist for, then they're pretty big. Can you keep yourself accountable, or do you need someone to keep you accountable? Here's my add to that. Do you need a therapist? Not necessarily. Do you have a friend who can keep you accountable and make you do these worksheets? I bet you do. You probably have someone in your life who would be willing to keep you accountable and make that happen and help you do that with you. Even if they're not necessarily with you as you do it, they would be someone who's in the know that you have this task and objective, and they would be there to remind you and ask you, hey, did you do it? Just that can really help keep us accountable in sticking with the plan of doing our worksheets to get through these problems. So I would say, did you do therapy? Honestly, I think at this point, from what I can see, I don't know the full story. I really don't. But from what I could judge is, it sounds to me like doing journaling is helpful, but it's so exhausting you kind of avoid it. And the other option is to go to therapy, but that also will be exhausting. So the exhausting part, I think, isn't a real isn't a good enough excuse to avoid doing it, but I understand wanting to avoid it. So you need something that will keep you accountable to help you journal or do these worksheets sort of thing. And maybe the worksheets won't be as exhaustive as journaling, because a journal you have to come up with everything, but a worksheet, a lot of it's already come up for you, right? Yeah, a lot of the questions are already there and you just have to answer them. That could be less exhausting. So it sounds to me that more than needing a therapist to solve these problems, you just need accountability that you're going to do it, even if it's exhausting. Because again, a therapist is going to be exhausting. It's just a matter of you feel like you have to show up because there's a person there waiting for you that you agreed you'd showed up for. So if you can do the job without having to see a therapist and do it on your own, I'd suggest it. But I'm not saying that you can solve everything alone. But that's why we have friends and why we have other people in our lives, and they can help. And sometimes you just need a therapist. Sometimes no one in your surroundings has gone through what they need to go through, or has thought the thoughts that they would need to think in order to solve your problem, or to help you even yourself solve the problem. And that's the case sometimes. And in those cases, I would say if you find you're holding yourself accountable, or someone else is, and you're doing the journaling or the worksheets every week for like 2 months, and you're just like stuck on something, then maybe it's time to see a therapist, because you can't solve the problem. People around you don't seem to be able to solve the problem. Then who can? Hopefully someone who is studied in the field. And so if you can find someone who's studied in the field, that's probably the person that can solve it for you. I mean, if I'm trying to do like government stuff for getting a visa, I go to people I would go to people who've gone through it, or the people who work at the agency if I can't figure it out myself, right? And so that's the same thing. If you're going through life and there's something that you've worked on for like a month or so, and you really have put in your honest effort and given it a shot every week or multiple times a week, maybe even every day, whatever, for a month, you just can't get to the bottom of it, you need someone who's well studied in it. Maybe someone who is a therapist. And so that's when I would recommend go seeing a therapist. That's my own personal take. Again, I've never been to therapy. I usually try to solve all of my problems in my head, or writing things down, generally just in my head. But that, it is a lot of brain power. And for me, it's a lot of pacing in the dark and going through something really hard and thinking about things. And actually, one of the best things for me is prayer. And so what I do is I pray. And I want to, just as an option for you, if you're a religious type person, prayer can be what you write down. So if you're journaling, you can pray while you journal. Your words written down can be prayer. And so if you feel like being in prayer helps guide you towards positive outcomes, towards becoming a holier person, right? That's what prayer does. It helps guide you. So do your journal like you're praying. Write your journal like you're praying, and try to solve it. Try to solve your problems through that. Try to solve your problems through written prayer. It could be a huge answer to your prayer of wanting to solve your problems. But again, the worksheets are a great idea. Any of this could help. Seems to me that the hardest part is getting yourself to do it. Therapists would help you because you've paid money, you've invested, and they're there waiting for you, and they've got a job and they'll keep you on task. But you also kind of feel like, it feels like you kind of know you can do it without a therapist. You just have to keep yourself on task and being willing to exhaust yourself. And that's a hard ask. It's a hard ask to do that alone. So that's what I'd say. Some friends to maybe try to help you be accountable and remind you to do it and encourage you to do it. Not just remind you or, make you feel bad if you didn't, but encourage you to do it. I think that'd be good. That's what I got. And I hope that's helpful. And unfortunately, I don't have very much experience with therapy, so I can't really share too much of that. But I've done a lot of self-patching, so I think it's worth doing. It's always worth doing. And that's something you can remind yourself of, is yes, it's going to take 100% of your brain, and it's going to exhaust you. Let me tell you a quote I once heard, and I think it's a beautiful quote. It should take you, hold on, it should take you everything you've got to become all you can become. Something like that. This is from a guy on, I think it's Chris Brady, said it on stage. He was referencing the military. United States military used to have a slogan, become all you become all you can be, something like that. Is that right?
Or be all you can be.
Yeah, be all you can be. Yeah, be all you can be. I think at some point he thought about it and he's like, be all you can be. But it's like, you have to give everything you've got to be all you can. If you want to be the best version of yourself, which is you with these problems solved, it's going to take all of you. It's going to take 100% of you to get there, because your current 100% maybe is like where you want to be on your normal days of 50, right? Because you kind of want to float, right? You want to conquer these things so you can float. And what I mean is, you want to conquer your problems so that they're no longer problems. You want to conquer your problems in such a way that they're a part of your subconscious, so you don't even have to think about them and you just do them. An example would be how you treat or interact with other people, right? Maybe you're terrible with people when you're young, but you try hard enough and you really put 100% of your effort in. At some point, you only have to give you only have to give like 1% of your effort, and you're good with people, right? And all you're given is 1%, because in the past it took everything you had to do that 1% work of what is 1% now, because there's so much, but like because you didn't know back then, because you didn't have the tools back then, because you didn't solve the problems yet. You didn't put them into your brain and work them into be like, subconscious. So sometimes, and it's a good thing, you have to put in everything you got sometimes to become 1% better. But if you do that every day, right? You do that every day, think like in a year or less, your current 100% will be 200% of what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because if you build 1% every day, and it takes all of you to do it, but you build 1% every day, first day is 100%, second day, that's 100% is equal to 101% of what the day was before. The next day would be 102% of what the first day was, right? Let's say it's something like that. At some point, what's the beauty of that is you can kind of float, and you're kind of just where you want to be in terms of your mental state without having to work so hard, because you put in the work before and you got your problems solved. You got them written into your brain so that they would stay and be your natural state of operation. And it causes you to sort of just answer questions and solve things fast, so that problems kind of just come and go like it's no big deal. And it's entirely possible. Not with everything, but pretty much most things in life. that way. So I think it's absolutely worth taking those days where you have to give your 100% just so you can become 1% better. Because that is the path. And not like being trapped anymore. Right? You know, if you imagine yourself trapped in a jail and you've got these wooden bars, you know wood can be broken, but you're not strong enough to do it. But every day you go back and you try and you try and you try. Over time, your muscles get stronger and the wood will get weaker. And someday, if you try to break those bars every day, you'll break them because wood can be broken. And your muscles can be grown. And so it's worth your 100% that you have to give in to it every day for one day that you can break out and break out of your problems, break out of the trap that you're in right now. Because I'm sure you feel trapped. When you break out, you'll get arrested again. Hey, that's okay. You know?
You know how to get out already, right?
Yeah. You already know how to get out. You're fine. But yeah, it's just an analogy, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's what I have to say on it. Keep yourself accountable or get someone to be accountable for you. If you don't want a therapist, spend the money doing that and so on. And you know you could do it if you just gave yourself into it and did it, like, then do that. Because in the end, what's therapist session going to do for you? Like, what a therapist does is try to get you to come up with the answers. Right? They're to guide you and ask the right questions. They're there to help you guide you through some of your thoughts. But in the end, you need to come up with the answers for yourself so that you understand it. And it can become foundational and change your thinking about things and help you through these things. In the end, the therapist, a lot of times, is just there to help you guide yourself. But they keep you accountable. They give you direction. And that's what's so good about a good therapist, is they can give you direction. But in the end, if you're just solving it for yourself, you feel like you can do that without a therapist, then you should. You should guide yourself. It might be exhausting, but it won't always be exhausting. It's only exhausting right now. At some point, it won't be. Or maybe it always will be. I don't know. Maybe it always will be. Even if it always is, hey, it's still worth it, isn't it? Because then you don't have to be trapped by whatever is holding you up in life that you feel like you need to seek a therapist over. So I think it's worth it. Yeah, that's what I got.
Nice.
Yeah, Joe, you have anything else you want to follow up with that on that?
I do actually. I want to give you another time when it would be appropriate to seek therapy, because I said before, it was like, okay, so if it's messing with your day-to-day living, you can't function properly, that's a good time to consider therapy. Here's another time when you would probably want to find a therapist, and that is if you find yourself if you find that you're self-diagnosing yourself with some kind of mental illness. Because we do have a lot of that out there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
People saying, "Oh, I have this condition, blah 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 blah," but they're just reading about this condition online, and then they relate to it, and so then they assign themselves this condition. And the issue with that is, now it may very well be just you may actually have that condition, and you may be right. The problem is a lot of people, most of the time when we do that, we're seeking an explanation for why we are a certain way or why we feel a certain way. And so we read a whole bunch of different kind of conditions out there, and then we find the one that we resonate with the most, and we're like, "Oh, I have that condition," right? Unfortunately, a lot of times we stop there. I'm not saying this is you. I'm not pointing my finger at anybody, but I'm just saying that we will self-diagnose and then give a reason for why we are a certain way, but then we don't get the tools to help us either cope with that condition or, repair that condition or learn how to live with that condition, learn how to notice when we're being triggered and how to work with it, how to handle it. We're not learning that. We're basically just diagnosing ourselves so then we have a reason to be somewhat dysfunctional, right? And I don't mean excuse to be dysfunctional, but we want to find a reason. Like, I don't know. I'm If you guys are like me, like I want to know why something is the way it is. Right? Like I feel like this and these kinds of things set me off. I want to understand why. And so I can go and I can figure out that maybe I have this condition. I can self-diagnose. But until work with somebody who actually understands all the criteria of this certain condition, and then also has the avenues or knows where to point you in the direction for the avenues to help you with this condition, it doesn't do us much good to diagnose ourselves with some things, right? Now, um, I'm not saying this is you. I'm not saying this is anybody, but I have noticed that in this day and age, now that we have information so plentifully, there are a lot of people that will just diagnose themselves with some kind of a condition. But, you know, diagnoses are not for us to do. They're for professionals to, that know what they're doing that can help, right? And some therapists will, some therapists won't, and so you might have to go through a few to figure out to get to where you understand what's been happening, right? I'm really, really glad I went to the last therapist I had. I had no idea of there were a lot of things I had no idea about. And so now I have a lot of knowledge about what you would call like they call cluster B personality disorders, which are like narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic, and antisocial, right? And so there's these personality disorders, and like being in relationships with these people can really be damaging, right? And it can be really hard. And so, like, I learned a lot about these kinds of disorders. I personally I'm not a cluster B personality, whatever, right? But I've been in relationship with them, and so then it kind of, once you know more about these kinds of things, then you can learn and take the proper steps to help heal and to help get you through and to help you set boundaries, to help you do all these kinds of things, right? And these are things that it really, really, really helps to have a therapist coaching you through and pointing you in these directions and asking these questions and talking through what's going on and then guiding you to the answer of healing, right? Because we find something wrong with ourselves, and do we really want to just stay that way? Like, sometimes we do. Sometimes we want to drown ourselves in self-pity. I've definitely been there before, you know? But then after a while, it's like, that stinks. I'd rather just get better, right? And sometimes it takes help to get better, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. I wanted to show you guys my journaling for today. You guys wanna see my journal from today?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
Whoa.
journal entry for today.
What? How did you do that? Did you like?
With a pen.
Did you put it over something and do that brush thing, or did you just
Oh, wait, I didn't
draw
really
with it?
see. I was looking at the like I'm looking at the screen. I
Like
had to
your
like there you go.
is that your palm print? Like what is that?
No, that's random scribbling.
Wow. Pretty cool, man. Great.
That's my form of art. It's very texture based. Like I just
Yeah.
like draw out textures and stuff like that. Like that I can't draw anything. But yeah, that was my
I like it.
journaling exercise for today,
Mm.
right? So I didn't even write any words.
Yeah.
It was
Hey, that's
just
that's pretty cool.
scribbling,
Yeah.
you know?
Hey,
And
that's cool.
sometimes that's all it takes, but like the exercise was there to express emotion through some kind of creation. And I had this exercise, the same thing, like, a few days ago where it was like, "Okay, you're doing this, you're expressing yourself." I chose drums. It was like the very first that was the first instrument I fell in love with, the first instrument I really learned how to play, the one that has been there with me since I was just a little kid. I was drumming on stuff, right? But for the first time in forever, I drummed without a goal in mind, without some kind of work attached to it, without some kind of practice involved. Like, I didn't put on any music and play along and try and learn some kind of a beat or whatever. I sat down at the drums, nothing, and I really just listened to what those instruments were doing, and I did my best to just express who I was through those instruments. And that was so cleansing. And so I would encourage you, if journaling is kind of tough, takes a lot of energy, you're wondering about therapy, one of the best ways to handle emotion when you're dealing with some kind of a turmoil, you know, is some kind of creative act. I'm going to read this. I found this really poignant statement when I was, when I had to do this exercise a few days ago. And so you do this. Okay, it says maybe you paint with jagged strokes to match your frustration. Maybe you write a letter from your sadness. Maybe you hum a tune that feels like loneliness. Let the emotion lead and follow without overthinking it. Afterwards, take a moment to pause, not to judge your creation, but to thank it because it held something for you that you didn't have to hold alone. And that's one of the powers of using creativity in, emotional turmoil or to express emotion because it holds something from you that you don't have to hold by yourself. And it lets you tell the truth without needing to explain it. And I was like, oh, that's powerful. Because sometimes things are just too big for us to be on our own with. Sometimes it's just the case. And so when we can do some kind of expressing, that's why journaling can be so powerful. But your journal doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be like a diary where it's like, "Dear diary, today this and this happened, and today this and this happened, and blah, 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 blah." Now that can be helpful. It can help with self-reflection and all that kind of stuff, right? But journaling doesn't have to follow any kind of format. It doesn't have to be some kind of like I always have to talk about what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. I have to try and put my feelings into words. Now you can do that for sure. But sometimes journaling can be just the act of creating something. Maybe you just write down a bunch of colors because of, they represent how you're feeling. Or maybe you draw something or whatever it is. But it's the act of putting something down on paper that's flowing out of your soul and using that to, hold emotions that you can't hold by yourself. And so that's where journaling can be really, really effective, right? Sometimes but it can be any of those things. It can be the things where it's like I talk about my day, or I talk about my yesterday, or I talk about things that are on my mind right now, or whatever, and you're processing through things. I've definitely journaled a lot like that. But sometimes it's just writing a bunch of words that maybe they don't even make sense. Maybe I write a poem. Maybe I write some lyrics. Maybe I just hit something, right? And da da da. And you can come up with some real cool points of wisdom in some of that too. So, no way. Twashu's here. Twashu. Hey, Twashu, you need to scroll up in the chat. Well, maybe you don't need to. I don't know. I don't know if it tuned in, but Neonsai said because purple is a great color like DWW.
Okay.
We had this discussion that, I was like, don't worry, Wednesday, like our screen, it's like all purple, right?
Yeah.
And Twashi's like, no, it's not, it's blue. I was like, no,
Oh.
it's purple.
Oh no.
And Twashi's like, no, it's blue, but it's blue, see?
My wife and I do
love
this
you. You're
all the
so
time.
great.
That's so great.
Welcome, Twashi. It's
I
great
think
to
it's
see
blue.
you.
Moonlit says it's blue too. That's great.
I don't know. I think our screens are just different. Maybe your screen is got some weird adjustments because we've had this color discussion before when we were playing Overwatch. And there was this Sigma thing that I said it was a certain color, and you said, no, it's not. It's this other color. I'm like, no, it's this. And you're like, no, it's that. And yeah, it was great. I don't know. I'm not picking on you. I just think it was kind of funny. Yeah, you remember that? I know. Mianglio says it's between blue and purple. 1 in 12 men are colorblind. Wait, 1 in 12 men are colorblind? Your brother's colorblind,
Yeah,
right?
he's colorblind.
Yeah.
He is. It's kind of funny. He knows he's colorblind, and it's funny.
He does. He does. Wait, it's not purple? Dill Pickle says it's not purple. Oh, is it not purple? Oh, yeah.
Is it
no,
not
it's purple, man.
No, it's purple.
I'm telling you, it's purple.
Well, okay.
It's purple.
It's okay. I just wanna say this. When I made that, I was on the color wheel and I selected purple, a color that was between red and blue. But it's more blue than it is red. So if you don't feel like it's purple, because it's more blue than it is red, but it is purple because it's a red-blue mix. But it's more blue than red.
Moonlight, how did you get to be number 1?
You just gone to that topic. It's a blue magenta.
Congratulations, you made it to number 1.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Yes. You're better.
I'm better. That's it. That's
Good
true.
job.
That's true.
Good job. You're so much better. But yeah. So anyway, hello. Yeah. Go back and listen. Should you do therapy? I don't know. There are certain criteria in there. However, I've known lots of people who have healed massive wounds without therapy. Ryan is one of them. Guy who's survived some incredible hard, emotional times and hasn't been to therapy. And, it inspires me. I just can't do it without it, I guess. Or I don't know.
We've been through different things, though, to be
different.
sure.
That's that's
lived
true.
Entirely different lives.
We have. We've had different experiences for sure.
Yeah. And we're different people.
But yeah, we are. I mean, we look a lot alike. We got the same hairstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The
But
bottom half of our face, at least.
yeah, that one. But I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I would say there's no shame in going. There's never any shame in going to seek therapy. And don't let people make fun of you for seeking therapy. And if they do, then maybe they need to be kicked out of your life. If somebody's going to make fun of you for trying to get help. I don't know. That'd be a tough one, man. That'd be a tough person to think I need to keep around me. But if you want to see blue, my shirt is blue. Twashu, does my shirt look blue?
Or does it look purple? I'm sure Twashu will say it. I'm sure.
Duh.
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 Duh. Wow.
But it's not the same color as like the Don't Worry Wednesday stuff. No, I know you're not colorblind, but it's like I'm trying to figure out if your screen is playing tricks on you. Yeah. Joe is blue. I am blue.
Amazing. Joe, just all of Joe is blue, yeah. Joe's blue, dabu dee dabu die. 72.2% blue, which means the other percent is red. Which, that's what I said. I said before, it is a purple, but the purple was more blue than it was red on the color wheel.
Well, so yeah, so then maybe it's actually blue.
Yeah.
Maybe green is actually blue and blue is actually red and red is actually yellow and
yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe. Doubtful. I mean, maybe, I guess. Somehow.
Thank you, Dill. Going to therapy or seeking help in general is super cool. Anyone that says it's not cool are losers.
I agree.
I don't know about losers, but they definitely got some things to figure out.
I think this is also a matter of definition. As Hiro said, the number one in chat are purple. That Don't Worry Wednesday screen is definitely more blue than purple. So it might be a matter of definition, because yes, it is more blue than red. Is it more blue than purple? Potentially. But what is your definition of purple? Is your definition of purple blue mixed with red? Well, then it's purple. But if your definition of purple is it has to be at least 20% red with blue before you consider it purple, otherwise it's just blue with a little tiny red in it, you just might as well call it blue because it's only 20% red or less. Like, if that's your definition of purple, then you might call it blue. If that's how your eyes work and you see it and you're like, wow, it's basically blue because it's closer to blue than it is to the middle range of purple, which would be 50-50, 50 red, 50 blue. Maybe that's how you grade it, and so you say it's blue rather than purple. You might be right. You might be right.
Well, and it might be like, there's so many different colors that are purple-ish.
Yeah.
Like Twashu's got one that lavender, right?
Lavender.
Like that's a very purple-ish
I like
color.
lavender.
Like I would say all those colors are purple.
Sure.
That's just oversimplification. It's kind of like anything, if I don't know if you know the state of Michigan, but anything like east of Brighton is Detroit.
Oh, right.
Basically where it goes from a 4-lane highway to a 6-lane highway, and then now it's Detroit.
Yeah. But if you live there, you might say, well, no, I don't live in Detroit. I live in...
Right. They're like, I live in West Bloomfield. It's like, it's Detroit.
It's Detroit.
It's not Detroit.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, okay, look at the map. Look at Google Map. Does the city, do you ever see like the housing and the buildings end before it starts again? No, it's all connected like one giant metal looking block that's gray.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one giant city. I don't know why you're splitting it up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the
It's all
same
Detroit.
time, I get it. You can split it up. It's just two different points if you want it.
Yes. And Twasha, you know I love you. I'm not picking on you with this whole purple thing and blue
August,
thing.
yes. We've got two teams now. Don't Worry Wednesday. Blue Don't Worry Wednesday and Purple Don't Worry Wednesday. Finally, we found our point of division on this channel. It had nothing to do with any of the hot topics we've talked about in the past. And there have been many. It's this one. It's blue or purple.
This one is blue versus purple. And it could be pancakes versus waffles, but that was the double cup of Joe division split.
Yeah, true,
you know,
true.
like
True.
Blue versus purple. That's okay.
Amazing.
Oh, your color picker says it's actually blue?
I'm crying.
Wait, how did you, Neons, how are you all of a sudden number one? You haven't said anything in a hot minute.
Which ones do you do? Are you guys highlighting the light colored lines or the dark colored lines?
The purple liar.
Are you color picking the dark or the light or both?
You are in fact the best.
Amazing.
Oh my.
Yeah, well, sorry guys, I picked such a color that is hard to determine. I guess it's one of those things.
Mianglios, yes. Mianglios, you are right. We can compromise, meet in the middle, and call it blurple.
Blurple?
Blurple.
Beautiful.
Color picker says it's purple. The outside color picker says it's blue. Wow. I mean, my shirt looks pretty doggone blue. It's like royal blue, right?
Sure.
It's my kingly blue color.
Wow,
royal.
yeah. It looks nice on you.
Thank you.
Mm.
You don't believe anything anymore? Hey, but now you're number 2. Look at.
Wow.
Because Moonlit came back in. This whole chat ranking system is so funny. Hey, did you guys ever get fortune cookies?
Yeah.
Do you like fortune cookies?
Yeah.
You know how most of the time you get a fortune cookie? And the fortune is like some kind of weird, obvious, like, oh, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, like blah, 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 blah. Some kind of, you know, whatever kind of statement, right? Some kind of generic whatever statement.
Yeah.
I got this thing. It said, a new and exciting opportunity will present itself this Friday.
Very specific. I've gotten ones like that before.
And then I got another one that said, July's love will be the answer to your questions.
Wow.
And I'm like,
July.
This fortune cookie doesn't know me very well.
You're going to have to wait a while, Joe. Or is it a past July? Is it a past July or a coming July? Because that's a while away.
Well, it says July's love will be the answer to your questions.
Okay. Who's July?
I don't know.
Joe, do you know who's this July they're talking about?
I don't know. Good things are going to happen in July. Or did something happen this past July that's the answer to all my questions?
Yeah, right? That's what I'm
And what
wondering.
questions are I talking about? The answer to my questions. How does it know what I'm questioning?
What question? Yeah, which questions? You have many questions.
Men are very romantic with each other. Don't say that, Neonsai.
Have you heard of like a romantic battle? Romance doesn't have to be. Romance doesn't have to be like a relational smoochy kind of thing. Like, have you ever, the books Romance of the Three Kingdoms? It's a book about war. Actually, it's several books about war.
Okay.
Romance doesn't have to be lovey-dovey. Romance is a word that means dramatic. But Meaningful. Passionate.
Passionate.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, maybe that was the answer, Twashu. July was around the time you started, volunteering and helping us out. And actually, I think it was before that. Or was it just that you had volunteered for like a year before that, before
It's true.
before
Nyanza's
we
right.
got
They
you
do say
out there?
things like, love you, bro. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, but that's not romance. It's not even bromance.
That's bromance.
That's like real love, like the real kind of love.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wait, trick or treat? Yeah, it's Halloween time.
Yeah, quite nearly.
Yep.
Quite nearly the day.
It's that time of the year.
1 more day for me and 2 more days for the people in the US.
You guys got any cool costume ideas? Are you dressing up,
No.
Ryan?
I'm going to just be Static P, I guess. I'm just going to be myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you I'll be a cabinet maker
Nice.
that day.
Wow. That's a spin. I haven't been that
There's a spin
before.
on things, right?
Never done a Halloween where you were a cabinet maker before.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
I was last year at Halloween, I was a cabinet maker.
Were you?
Yeah.
You've been doing it for a year already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, it was in July
Oh, there you go.
last year. But it hasn't answered my questions.
Yeah, what questions? Which questions were answered?
And I don't know if it's a love thing. Because July's love.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't say romance or anything. It just says love. Who knows what kind of love?
Does kissing them goodnight count as romance? Wait, I don't kiss anybody goodnight, though.
You get like children and you kiss them goodnight. It's not romance.
Right. That's just being a parent.
Well, that's fun, young Leos. We were talking about Doctor Strange.
We were. Doctor Strange is my favorite Marvel hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my favorite
Good
Marvel
choice.
movie. Yeah, that was
good choice. Kissing the homies goodnight is okay as long as the socks stay on.
Wow. Okay.
Are those business socks, though?
Yeah, because it's not business time.
It's not business.
If it's business time, then there's a problem. That is not okay. Yeah.
Doctor Strange got outdone by a teenage Spider-Man. He did? How did he get outdone by Spider-Man?
Didn't every hero get outdone by Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel is basically the most powerful hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically invincible and super powerful and yeah, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep. Anyway.
But it's not my favorite character in the Marvel Rivals game. I mean, I play as Doctor Strange, but he's a tank and I'm a healer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, one of the character I've played the most this season is actually a couple, like a boyfriend-girlfriend couple.
Oh, wow.
It's disgusting.
And yet you love it.
And yet,
keep coming back
I'm playing this character.
Yeah. Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, I know.
You're moving up, you know?
I'm moving up.
You're moving forward, man. See it.
Yeah.
Great.
But I won't get their little emote. You got these things you can get. Like you have this little plushie that hangs off your butt or whatever. And then in the corner, anytime you do something good, like this little character does this cool little thing, yay, did whatever. Right. But this particular one, it's them two and they're kissing, and there's like hearts coming up off them and stuff. And I'm like, nope, I'm not getting that thing. Yes, Mianglios, Cloak and Dagger. Yep. But they're like all kissing, and there's hearts.
Which one's Cloak and which one's Dagger?
Cloak is the guy.
Okay.
Dagger's the girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep. Ty and Tandy.
That's the real name?
Tandy and Tyrone. Tyrone and Tandy. Yes.
Tandy. All right, well.
Yes.
Great. Hey, you know what? We actually made it through the whole show. We're 60 minutes over. And it's been a great time.
We're late.
We're late. Poop. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay, guys. I'm sorry for you didn't have to go that extreme. I didn't have to say that. Oh my goodness, that was intense. Sorry about that, guys. No, this is a don't worry.
Static P said poop.
I know.
I'm telling.
Poopy.
Telling your mom.
Yeah, well, you could tell her.
Yeah. Ryan said a swear word.
A swearer worder.
Yep, he said poop.
Yep, this is Don't Worry Wednesday. Thank you guys for showing up and sharing your lives with us and sharing your time with us and sharing your thoughts and tips and all that with us and your comedy with us. Just being here. We love you all and we thank you for being here and we thank you for your presence. Thank you for being you. And we hope to get to see you again next coming Wednesday. And yeah, you guys are awesome. And we love you.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here. We love you.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Peace. See if I can do this with my left hand. I'm going to close it. Watch this guy.
Can you left hand it?
Oh, here we go.